Hello grade 3 students, this is Mr. Abdurrahman and today we have a new lesson. Okay, so our lesson for today is Unit 3, Lesson 3, Grammar. So, our grammar lesson for today is about... okay, first let's read. Okay, read with me. I always go to school by bus. Tom usually visits his aunt. They often play football together. I never watch TV before lunch. Okay, so can you see the colored words? Always, usually, often, never. Do you know what are these words? Excellent. These are called the adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Okay, what are the adverbs of frequency and why do we use them? Let's see. We use the adverbs of frequency to talk about our habits. What are our habits? Habits are things that we like to do frequently. Okay, so my habit is playing football. It's a habit. Okay, so this is something that I like to do most of the time, not all of the time. Okay, like this example, I always play basketball. I always play basketball. This is an example of talking about habits. Okay, another thing is to talk about how often something happens. Like what? So, all of us go to school, right? Okay, how many days do we go to school in a week? We go to school 5 days in a week, right? And how many days do we have in a week? 7 days, right? Okay, so do we go to school for many days or for a few days? For many days a week. Excellent. So, we can say that we usually go to school. We usually go to school. Okay, so let's read this example together. I sometimes go to school by bus. I sometimes go to school by bus. This means that I don't always go to school by bus, but sometimes I can go by bus and sometimes I can go by foot. I can go on foot, I can walk to school, and other times I can go by bike. Okay, so this is how to talk about how often something happens. Okay, now let's see the adverbs of frequency and how do we use them. Okay, if there is something that never happens, never, it doesn't happen at all. Like what? Like when I say the sun or the moon never comes in the sky in the morning. Okay, this never happens, right? Okay, so it doesn't happen at all. So we use the word never. Okay, if something that can happen like not all the time, a few times, we use sometimes. We use sometimes. Excellent. If something that can happen like 50-50, like 50%, we use the word often. Okay. Now, some people say often and some people say often, and both of them are correct. You can say often and you can also say often because one of them is American and the other is British. Okay, so if something that happens most of the time, we use the word usually. Okay, and if something happens all the time, we can use the word always. We can use the word always. Excellent. Now, look at this. This is a schedule or schedule. Okay. Can you tell me how often do we have English? How often do we have English? Can I use the word never? No, because we have English all the time, right? Okay, so here we can use the word always. Excellent. Okay, Another one. How often do we have signs? Huh? Okay, we only have signs one day a week. So here we can say we sometimes have signs. Excellent. Okay, now I will ask about music. How often do we have music? Can you see music? Is it there? No. So we can say we never have music at school. Okay, so now look at this. Now this is very important. You need to listen carefully. The adverbs of frequency come before the verb. The adverbs of frequency come before the verb. What does this mean? Let's see. Okay, thank you. Let's read together. Giraffes always eat leaves of trees. Giraffes always eat leaves of trees. Okay, can you tell me which word of these is the verb? Which one of these words is the verb? Excellent. The verb here is eat. Okay. Now, where is the adverb of frequency? It's always. Now, did I put the adverb of frequency before or after the verb? Excellent. It's before. It's before. Now, Tom never plays in the street. The verb here is plays. Excellent. And here we put the adverb of frequency before the verb. Excellent. Good job. I sometimes visit my cousin. The verb here is visit. And the adverb of frequency is sometimes. Excellent. Did we put the adverb of frequency before the verb or after the verb? Before the verb. Well done. Okay. And so on. Girls usually like shopping. Usually comes before the verb like. Jane often comes late. Okay, the adverb of frequency often comes before the verb here. Okay, good job. Now let's practice. I need you to choose. I will give you 2 seconds quickly. I space my breakfast. Always enjoy or enjoy always. The adverb of frequency comes before the verb. So it will be excellent. Always enjoy. Quickly. Tom space to school by bus. Goes often or often goes. Excellent. Often goes. Good job. Mona and Marwa, unhealthy food. Never eat or eat never. Can I say? Oh no. Why? Because here the adverb of frequency is not in the correct place. It must be before the verb, right? Excellent. Okay. Okay. Tom space a red t-shirt. Wears usually or usually wears? Usually wears. Okay. Now another thing. We said that the adverbs of frequency come before the verb. But if we have verb to be, do you remember verb to be? Can you tell me what is it? Yes, verb to be, am, is, are. Am, is, are. Okay, so if we have verb to be in the sentence, the adverb of frequency comes after verb to be. Like what? Let's see the examples. Lions are always hungry. Can you see here? Verb to be are comes before and the adverb of frequency comes after verb to be. Always comes after verb to be are. Tom is always a kind boy. Can you see here? Always the adverb of frequency after is. Okay. I am never late. I am never late. Okay. Girls are usually patient. Jane is often lazy. Okay. So let's practice this one. Tom space clever. Okay, can I say always is or is always? We said if we have verb to be, the adverb of frequency comes after verb to be. So the correct answer is excellent, is always. Okay, so if we want to ask about, look at this, we use how often. We use how often to ask about how frequently does an action happen. Okay, so like what? Let's see an example. How often do you write in your notebook? How often does your mom buy ice cream? How do we answer these questions? Okay, before this we need to do something. Space, do you go to school? Can I say how long or how often? How often, excellent. Okay, so to answer these questions, how can we answer these questions? We use the time expressions or adverbs of frequency to answer a question that starts with how often. Like, how often do you write in your notebook? I write in my notebook every day. Okay. How often does your mom buy an ice cream? My mom buys ice cream once a week. I can also say, my mom always buys ice cream. My mom never buys ice cream. Okay, so this was the end of our session. Thank you so much for watching and good luck.